Am I the asshole for sending my friend a "get well soon" package? One of my 36M really good friends posted on Facebook that she, 40F, caught a really bad cold and has been holed up in her apartment for days. I felt bad, so I went to the store and bought some items to ship to her as a care package. Orange juice, cough drops, lemon ginger tea bags, and DVD set of one of her favorite shows. She DM'd me to say thank you and that my care package really cheered me up. That good feeling soured when her boyfriend called me up to accuse me of trying to upstage him. I told him that I was trying to be nice, but he started throwing all these wild accusations around and accused me of trying to get into her pants. I apologized for making him feel that way, and told him that my intentions were purely out of friendship. I've known my female friend for years and have never tried anything on her. Also, I'm married. Getting into my friend's pants was the absolute last thing on my mind. Am I the asshole for stepping on her BF's toes? Not the asshole. If your kindness made him look and feel crappy, that is on him. You can only be accountable for your intentions, which by the way, were extremely considerate. You do you. Not the asshole. If he can't be bothered to care for his girlfriend whilst ill, why shouldn't her friends? Regardless of gender, intentions of friendship are just that. Never feel sorry for being a friend. You did nothing wrong, he's just jealous because you gave her a more thoughtful gift while she was sick than he did. Because he probably did absolutely nothing and upstaging him could have been sending her a box of tissues. He's jealous and upset that you were more thoughtful than he was. But the boyfriend sure is. Not the asshole. I apologized for making him feel that way. But FFS, why? Not the asshole. If you upstaged him, it's because he's insecure. His reaction should have been, holy shit, wife, friend just sent you some stuff to help you recover. Why don't I make this tea for you and put the DVD in? And if he wanted to show off by doing more, then he could do something helpful for her instead of moaning about it to you. Low-effort partners are often very aggressive towards other people who show their partners decency and kindness. They hate when others raise the bar for human behavior because they don't want to do the work. He is feeling ashamed because you cared more than he did. Instead of doing the healthy thing and considering why he felt that way and deciding to be a better partner, it's far easier to accuse you and shame you. Not the asshole. Keep being awesome. Am I the asshole for refusing to make calls to social services on my GF's behalf? My 30M partner, 29F, has phone anxiety and executive dysfunction. A lot of the time, I need to be on top of things like bills, coordinating repairs, etc. I've more or less accepted that. Without revealing where we live, she's been unemployed for nearly 2 years and has been on social services payments this whole time. I've been, and still am, working full-time. She has a fair chunk of savings from when she did work, and we currently live with my parents, so there aren't many household expenses at the moment, though obviously she doesn't get much income. Recently, we went on a long vacation, and before doing so I told her that she should notify social services that she would be leaving the country, as they would have to pause her payments until she returns. 4 weeks into vacation she gets an international call from them which she missed, and a notification that she now owes them money. So obviously she didn't do that. I kept my mouth shut since scolding her wouldn't really do anything, just to get it sorted out when we returned. Now, 2 weeks after we're back, she comes in while I'm working from home, saying she's too anxious to call them and get it sorted out. I offer to be there on hold with her since I still need to work. She says I could call them on my behalf when I'm on lunch break. I refuse, because these calls take a notoriously long time and would almost definitely eat into my work hours as well. She's now calling me selfish and the asshole for refusing. I asked after finishing work if she called. She hasn't answered, just saying, why does it matter to you? Am I the asshole? Additional context. I'm currently in therapy for various things. She's on the spectrum and hasn't been to therapy in years, despite me telling her to start again. She cites the cost, which is admittedly pretty expensive. I also have to pay for our couples therapy when we do that. The social services line is only open during typical work hours. My work isn't always busy, but I do receive calls from clients out of the blue, so it's expected I'm at least present and ready to answer during work hours. Even if you wanted to call, they won't talk to you about her payments. She needs to call and deal with this or they'll garnish her future payments. Just what exactly does she bring to relationship? She doesn't work, doesn't contribute financially, won't or can't take care of things herself, and won't get the therapy she needs to ease the situation. Not the asshole. You're not the asshole. It's not your job to babysit her. She's an adult, and she needs to learn to handle her own stuff, even if it's tough. Suggesting therapy again might help, but ultimately, it's up to her to take the initiative. JFC, op. Forget this issue for a second, I'm worried for your safety. What if you have some sort of medical emergency at home? Is she going to be too anxious to call 911 to get you help? Will she just sit there crying while the life slowly fades from you and then sit at home with your rotting corpse in the living room because she's too frightened to call for help? What if you guys have kids? OMFG, this is a bigger issue than you realize, not the asshole. Info. Is she in any way a partner to you? Because it sounds like you are basically paying for her, organizing everything for her, and you also get guilt-tripped if you don't do what she wants. So you are basically a personal assistant who pays his boss and has a full-time second job, your actual job. Not the asshole. The phone anxiety is tough, and it is sweet that you help her with it. But if you are saying that you can't because you are working, that is it. She will have to do it or get help from someone else. Otherwise she turns into the asshole for not caring that her stuff would be affecting your work. That is obviously not okay. Am I the asshole? For texting my roommate's boyfriend because she told me to? I, 23F. Live with 3 other girls. Kelly, 23, Gina, 22, and Jasmine, 20. We're college students in a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom duplex. I've lived here for 3 years, 2 of them with Gina. Before she moved in, I told her I'm strict about keeping shared spaces clean. She's an only child and had never lived with others, so it's been an adjustment for her, but she's improved. Except when her boyfriend, Jake, 22, is over. Jake lives with his parents and visits often, but he has zero regard for our space or basic etiquette. He's left trash around, size 13 shoes blocking the doorway, and stained my couch and rug with food. I've asked Gina multiple times to talk to him, but she just gets annoyed with me and says it's not her responsibility. The other roommates agree with my standards, but I'm usually the only one who speaks up. The final straw was one morning when I found our shared bathroom soaked. The floor mats and towels were drenched, the shower curtain was barely hanging, and there was clutter everywhere, like Jake showered outside the shower. I couldn't even use the sink without cleaning up first. Then, when I went to make breakfast, I found their half-eaten fast food left all over the stove. Frustrated, I threw it out. I texted Gina about this mess, and she told me to bring it up directly with Jake since he did it. So, I texted him, explaining that if he couldn't respect our space, he couldn't use anything I owned in the house, which includes most of the living room and kitchen items. He apologized but dismissed it as usual. He responded, "I'll just stay in Gina's room then." Gina then texted me, hysterical and crying. She was on our porch, telling Jake how unfair I was being, saying it's not her fault. She demanded I let Jake use my things, arguing it's her house too. I told her he can use her things in her space, like her room or the shared bathroom, but not mine. I pointed out that, like with a pet, she's responsible for her guest's mess. She's now telling people I'm banning Jake from the house. Not true. I just limited his use of my stuff, and they're threatening to report me. I laughed and said they could. Am I the asshole? I haven't yelled, called names, or banned him. I just set boundaries with my things since he disrespects them. Update. Gina texted me asking me if we could talk. It's been 2 days since our fight and she's usually either at work or at a friend's house until she's ready to sleep and comes home. Let's see how this goes. Not the asshole at all. Her guest is most definitely her responsibility. And of course you'd go through her first before texting him directly. But why aren't your other roommates also standing up for you? Not the asshole. Who are they going to report you to? I know it's annoying, but can you lock up your kitchen stuff when it's not in use? Honestly, if they can't respect you or your stuff, I'd ban the boyfriend from going over. They can hang at his parents' house. Not the asshole. Or Gina and Jake really in their 20s? They sound like toddlers. Who do they want to report you to and for what? It's your home. If you don't allow someone to enter, her tantrum can't override that no matter how much she wants to. Not wanting to have someone in the house always overrules wanting someone in the house. Not the asshole. Shared spaces don't have to be spotless, but they are leaving big messes. Waiting to clean up kitchen until you are done eating is fine. Waiting 3 hours is not fine. Not the asshole. Gina has a lot to learn in life. I feel for anyone she might visit in the future if she has kids even. Not the asshole. You've done everything right, including laughing and telling them to go ahead and report you. Who exactly are they going to report you to? The landlord? I've told my children that they are responsible for their guests and any messes they might make. Am I the asshole for calling my mom unreliable? I'm 16 years old and I needed a foam mat for a science project. The only problem is these are not near our house and at a store 30 minutes away. I don't got a license, so I told my mom before I went to school to buy it for me. Just to make sure she did, I even sent her messages during school to get it, which she agreed to. When I got home, Tuesday, I discovered that she completely forgot about it and said that she was too tired to drive to the store right now. I was slightly nervous because the project is due Friday, but it wasn't too big of a deal because I was sure I could do it in that time. So, I told her to buy it tomorrow, Wednesday, and sent her a message during school again to buy it. When I got home, she was chatting with friends she invited over. So I reminded her if she got it and her reply was no, so I asked if we could go right now but she said no because her friends are here. At this point, I was irritated but didn't push it and just made her promise she'd get it tomorrow. Eventually, her friends did leave around 7 but I was already deep into my homework by then and didn't get to bed until 11. So today rolls around, and I told her she must absolutely get it now as the project is due tomorrow. She confirms and says she got it but when I got home, she didn't have the dang thing. I was irritated at this point and just remarked that even with all my reminders that she still proves to be unreliable. She got mad and started screaming at me calling me ungrateful and critical of her mistakes. So now I'm in the car with my friend going to that store because my mom refused to take me after I said that to her. So am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Your mom is clearly unreliable. She should apologize and try to make amends, but she's choosing the path of Darvo. Deny, attack, reverse, victim and offender. It's a narcissistic behavior, and I'm sorry you had to grow up with it. I sympathize because my own mom reacts to criticism in the same way. I'm glad you have a friend who can bail you out of this situation. Good luck on that project. Not the asshole. Probably not the best thing to say to someone that holds the keys to the car needed to get said supplies. She is unreliable though. It's ridiculous after all the reminders that she still couldn't get her shit together enough to go buy it for you. Not the asshole. All parents will forget important things like this at least once in their lives, but a good, reliable parent will actually get it on day 2, even if it means they have to say goodbye to their friend early, because at this point they recognize that they've had 3 missed opportunities, Tuesday day, Tuesday evening, and Wednesday day. And it just needs to get done so their kid can get their school project done. I know mine might have asked Tuesday night if I needed them to go get it despite their fatigue or if it could wait until the next day, but they'd have gotten it without fail on Wednesday. And they'd have been likely to just get it done Tuesday evening if they were able, despite being tired, because they placed a lot of importance on supporting my school needs. Not the asshole, and your mom is showing you why you should be making moves to be independent of her as soon as you can. Probably should have started with the friend. Info: when were you assigned this project? I seem to remember in high school having much more than a week to complete science projects. Did you really just get this project or did you have more time and put it off until the last week?